Hello, my ladies. How are you today? Well, remember when I told you that I wanted to start pampering myself? This is the start. Lilysilk, a company that's been in business for luxury silks for 10 years, reached out to me at just the right time. And they wanted to do a collaboration with me. And I agreed because this is the way I'm starting my pampered life, not only for me, but for my husband. The company Lilysilk makes gorgeous bedding and blouses and lingerie and anything that you would imagine, all in 100% mulberry silk. The reason they call this mulberry silk is because the silkworms eat only the leaves of a mulberry tree. And they do that for almost a month. They just eat and eat 24 hours a day. And it's the highest quality silk that you could ever dream of. The count is also 22 mami, which is a unit of measurement in density and thickness and quality. And it's the highest count of that too. Silk is a total natural product. Silk is non-allergenic. You all know that I've talked for years about my very dry skin. Silk helps keep your skin hydrated because it holds the moisture. And when you sleep on pillowcases, silk pillowcases, they also keep the moisture in your skin. Colors because it reminded me of the holidays, but also because they're so beautiful and so different. This pillowcase is not only great for your hair while you're sleeping at night, it just keeps the tangles from getting in them, especially if you have curly hair like I do. But it also keeps the moisture in your hair. It doesn't dry out your hair. I told you that silk has protein in it and it moisturizes. And all those expensive products and serums that you put on at night will not sink into this pillowcase. It will stay on your face. Not like with cotton. Cotton absorbs all those expensive serums, and that goes from your face right into cotton, but not with silk. Now, the blouse that I chose was a little different from the other blouses. There is another version, a classic button down, and notice that the buttons are covered. And being a woman who has worked with sewing for many, many years, I even noticed that in between the buttons, and you know how sometimes your blouses or shirts would gape a little bit? Well, they won't with these blouses. They have tacked in between each button to make sure that won't happen and it doesn't show. Look at the beautiful bow at the neck. I chose this because you ladies and myself are a little more mature, and I thought that this blouse was so elegant for a mature woman. You know what? It's very Coco Chanel-ish as well. Now, Lilysilk has generously offered a 15% discount, and I have a code which I will put across the video, and it will also be in the description box down below, where you will see more links about why choosing Lilysilk, and it gives more descriptions on this and another surprise that I have coming that is going to be a luxury for Moosey and I too. But you'll see that a little later in the video. There is also a 60-day return policy or exchange. I'm going to turn around and give you a view of the back of the blouse. As you've noticed, by the way, I've put a strand of my pearls on. Coco Chanel wore silk PJs, silk peignoirs, robes, beautiful blouses. As a matter of fact, just like this, under her beautiful Chanel suits. But I digress. I'm going to show you the back. Do you see the beautiful yoke in the back? Now the yoke has a box pleat coming from it down all the way to the bottom. It's not tacked down, just at the top. Gives it that little bit of roominess in case you might need it. I want to show you how beautiful this looks underneath a gorgeous evening jacket. Now you can wear the shirt with the tie like this at the neck, or you can loosen it and just fold it over once and let it hang, or you could even open it up a little bit at the neck and do a lower bow. The long sleeves have buttons on them at the cuffs. Do you notice the sheen? I hope you're getting to see the glossiness of this beautiful silk. Lilysilk calls it living spectacularly, is our bedding. And we have antique white linens on here that are way, way, way old. And we've slept with cotton, and sometimes you wake up in the morning, you've got a crease in your cheek or something. I mean, they're pretty, but they're not good for your skin. Whereas Lilysilk's silk pillowcases, and I have mine right here, and I love the color. So now you know all the benefits of silk, not only the wonderful things that they do to you, but more importantly, especially for my hubby and I, we are at the point in our lives where we are going to start pampering ourselves. We want some luxuries like we had many, many years ago. We've been living very frugally, but now we have all sorts of things in mind. We want to sleep on silk sheets. We want the duvet. The Lilysilk duvet is out of this world. It falls off the bed. I don't have one, but I've seen pictures like liquid silk. It just is gorgeous. That is the ultimate luxury. But PJs, any of you children out there, if you're looking for some good Christmas presents, Moosey and I always loved our jammies. And you know, the bigger the better with us. Big, big, nice and loose. We love it. So everybody, take advantage of that discount code and order. I don't know how long this is on, but do order some nice Christmas presents. The pillowcases are out of this world. Look on the links below and you'll see the color ranges and the sizes. They have everything from standard, these are kings, to queens. The colors are absolutely beautiful. I love the pale pink and that natural color. It's sort of a gold color, just like the Silkworm spun. But these are great for the holidays, and you are gonna see me a lot more in this wonderful blouse. Now I have it opened up a little bit, and you can wear it this way too if you want, maybe with a nice pin, and maybe just let these flap over once and go down and hang down. It's very versatile. Oh, I just lost my earring. This blouse comes in 10 or 12 colors. Not only the red, but a beautiful white, a soft white, a gorgeous gold color. The care of silk. I recently bought a steamer, and I have steamed the products that I received from Lilysilk, including this. And Martha Stewart claims that the only way to care for silk is to steam it. The pillows are washable in gently or by hand. Pamper yourself, just like my Mikey said. Mom, go out and do something wonderful for yourself and for Moosey. That not only includes perhaps living a little better, maybe taking a little short trip, but also pampering yourself. So in the meantime, I'll find my earring. Welcome home.
Thank you, hon. You used to tell me that you had a surprise for me. I had no idea it was silk. It's so beautiful and it feels so good. You know what? Something else about this? This is my absolute favorite color. I love teal. Just love teal.
Do you remember?
Do I remember? You talking about, I know what you're talking about. Those that black set.
Well,
oh, that was nice.
That was a long time ago when I was experimenting black silk sheets and pillowcases. But do you know what we slept in for years and years and years?
Yep.
Tell me what you remember about those.
I couldn't say it on.
We
I
slept
do remember sleeping on silk.
in green matching silk nightshirts.
Oh,
And we also had these beautiful silk, very lightweight sleeping turtlenecks. And in the winter, they were so warm, remember?
they were. They've gone away now. I can't wait to get the next new set.
How about red or gold matching PJs? Nice big roomy PJs.
Oh, I love that red.
This red is
Wear it.
beautiful. I just went outside a minute ago to see if the mail had come, and Colleen said, "Oh my gosh, what is that you're wearing?" It was so glossy. She said it was shining in the sun. So,
can imagine.
this is new to us, and
Okay.
this is part of our new way of life, treating ourselves, pampering. We're up there in years, and it's time we did this.
Can I go back to sleep now?
Yes, you may. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
You know, I remember my mother in the 40s wearing silk underwear in that natural peachy color. And she had the little tap dance undies, she had the camis, she had silk stockings. Everything was silk then. And I know that she loved her silk. I have to tell you another story. Do you know that for years and years, Moosey and I slept in silk pajamas or silk nightshirts? We want to return to that luxury. And we have decided that at this stage of our lives, we want to be pampered. And what better way within your home to pamper yourself than with Lilysilk? Meanwhile, I found my earring, so I'm good to go. Now, as you know, I am a former teacher, and the teacher will always be within me. So when I was telling a few of my little grandchildren last week all about my collaboration and sponsorship with Lilysilk and how excited I was, they wanted to know how silk was made. And there was a book that I had a while ago, and I went through all my children's book and I happened to find it. And it's called The Story of Silk, From Worm Spit to Woven Scarves. And I would add also beautiful clothing. So I was reading it last week. I took it over to my little grandchild's house, and I was reading about it. And it's the most fascinating book with pictures. And the story of the silkworm is fascinating. When silkworms hatch, they're tiny little black seeds, almost the size of not even a sunflower seed. And they begin to eat, especially if they're cultivated, and most of the silkworms are cultivated now. They begin to eat leaves from mulberry trees, and they eat and munch thousands of these worms, and they grow bigger and bigger, and they grow to, what did I read, 3.5 inches in size from a tiny seed. And it's something like 10,000 something, I don't know, but it's huge. So they eat these munching day and night. They munch on these mulberry leaves from trees. And lots of times, if they're obviously cultivated, they will bring the leaves in, and these thousands of silkworms eat and eat and eat. And when they're full, they start spinning a cocoon around themselves. This is so fascinating. I won't read you the whole book because this is a book for mainly for the children to enjoy. But if you're interested, you might want to get it. You can get it on Amazon still, I think. But anyway, the silkworms start spinning this cocoon around themselves of these silk fibers, beautiful, natural, golden silk fibers. And they spin them around and around and around. And I think they do that for a week, a long time. And when they finally finish, now, while they're doing that, they're emitting a form of protein that holds the fibers together on the cocoon. with golden, beautiful natural silk fiber around, like thread, around and around and around, until they get approximately maybe that size, maybe a little smaller. And when they've finally finished that, they rest, they go to sleep. And at that point, the cocoons are put into water to get the gummy protein off the fibers, so that the fibers loosen up and they fill the top of the water. As they loosen, and at the same time, these wooden shuttles draw these strings out. Now, can you believe that one cocoon, a continuous fiber piece of silk, a long string of silk, is 1 mile long? I find that absolutely amazing, but that's one of the reasons that silk is such a wonderful fabric and a strong, dense fabric, and why it's wonderful in pillowcases, because this one continuous fiber is then woven on a loom. The threads that go up and down and continuously through the thread, and this one continuous long thread is one of the reasons silk is such a luxurious way to go. So that's kind of the story of the silkworm. It takes 600 cocoons to make a blouse like this. So you can thank those silkworms for this. Little Brittany said, after she heard the story, she said, "Do you think that the silkworms would like to make me a little nightgown or a little dress? Nanny, does Lilysilk make clothing for children?" And I said, "I think they do. They make beautiful, pretty pink and other colors." Go on their Lilysilk website and look at everything, and I think you will find some beautiful gifts that you would enjoy giving during the holidays. So that's the story of how all this is made. I have become fascinated with Lilysilk and their products, and I am lusting over some of the bedding, which I hope maybe someday we'll get. I'd love to see Moosey and I in matching pajamas again, like we used to sleep in years and years ago. So you might want to read this book to your grandchildren, especially if you buy them maybe a pair of silk pillowcases to rest their sweet little heads on. And their little curls will stay so intact and be so moisturized that they will never have bedhead again. So many, many hundreds of years ago, or even thousands, when all this process was being done in tiny villages and not manufactured or processed in large quantity, after the cocoons have unspun within this warm water, the ladies would dip into the water in the great big vats, and they would take this water filled with protein and they would use it on their faces. They would even save it because it was a great moisturizer. Isn't this fascinating? So ladies, I think that you ought to take advantage of this 15% discount code and perhaps start ordering some Christmas presents. Do you know it's less than 100 days? I think it's even less than 90 days until Christmas. The products come beautifully boxed in a beautiful box, a very pale box with lovely white florals on them. I think they might be lilies, as a matter of fact. Obviously, they would be lilies. And when you give this as a present, you are giving a wonderful gift of luxury at reasonable prices, I might add, to your family and your friends. Thank you, Lilysilk, for sponsoring this video. And thank you, ladies, for watching. This has been my first collaboration, and I couldn't have wished for a better company than Lilysilk to deal with. I love their motto, live spectacularly. And that's Lilysilk, and that's me. I love your comments so much. Don't forget that 15% discount code, and do go below in the description box. I have, with the help of a lovely daughter-in-law, learned how to do this. You know I haven't put links on before, but definitely I have links below in this video. One to tell you all about Lilysilk, and I encourage you to read about them. It's very, very fascinating. I love you all. Thank you, Lilysilk. I love you, and I love you, ladies. Bye-bye.